If your detailer doesn't know what this is, that's a problem. This is a paint depth gauge, and if you're gonna have somebody paint correct your car and apply ceramic coating, they need to have one of these, or you're taking a risk. There is not an endless amount of paint on your car. Every car has a different amount of paint on its body panels. And without measuring the paint, you don't know how deep you can go on your paint correction to remove the amount of defects you want to remove. When doing paint correction, you are going to be taking off some clear coat of the vehicle. There is about the thickness of a hair of clear coat on your vehicle's paint, and you need to be cautious with that. When performing paint correction, you need to ride that fine line of defect removal while also making sure that there's enough paint for this paint to last years, instead of this paint being gone after just a couple of years if you do a crazy heavy paint correction where you are chasing every single defect. For example, this car right here had a good amount of paint on it, so we were able to chase defects that we might not have been able to chase on a car with less paint. So let's show you how to use this thing. First thing I do is I switch the measurement to the mils setting because this is a lot easier for me to understand. And you're going to touch the aluminum body panels with paint on them, and you're going to be able to see how thick that paint is. Every single spot will be different. You're going to have to find the average of it. And let's say the average on this one is around 4. We'll say around 4 mils. And then we're going to go into the door jamb and measure. And as you can see, that's pretty close to what the exterior has. And why do we measure the door jamb? The door jamb is going to have the least amount of clear coat on your entire vehicle. Manufacturers want to cheap out on the door jambs because they're door jambs. So they're going to put more clear coat on the exterior of the car. In this case, they're pretty similar because we did such a heavy paint correction on this car, and anything in that 4 range is where I would say you're probably going to have to do the least amount of paint correction possible. In this case, I would say this vehicle could probably benefit from not doing a heavy paint correction at this point because we already did that heavy paint correction. But in a few years down the road, you could probably still do a light polish on it and that paint's going to be perfectly fine. But the level of clear coat that's in the door jamb is probably the lowest amount of measurement of paint that you're probably going to want to go towards when it comes to the exterior clear coat. Your paint is not infinite. Make sure that your paint correction specialist knows what this is and knows how much paint is on your car before they start polishing on it, because that could be a problem. Mad Vehicle Protection, precise results driven by the right process.